Napoleon Bonaparte was not born into greatness. He was born into uncertainty. In 1769, on the Mediterranean island of Corsica, Napoleon entered a world shaped by conflict. Corsica had only recently become part of France, and many locals still felt more Italian than French. Napoleon grew up feeling like an outsider, speaking with an accent, mocked by wealthier classmates, and surrounded by political tension. From an early age, he was quiet, observant, and intensely focused. While other children played, Napoleon studied. He read endlessly about history, war, and great conquerors. He believed that destiny was not given by birth, but seized by will. At the age of 9, he was sent to military school in France. Life there was harsh. He was poor, isolated, and often ridiculed, but discipline became his strength. Mathematics, artillery, and strategy fascinated him. War to Napoleon was not chaos. It was calculation. When the French Revolution erupted in 1789, it shook Europe to its core. Kings trembled, empires cracked, France descended into violence, rebellion, and opportunity. While many officers fled or were executed, Napoleon stayed. The revolution needed capable men, and Napoleon was exactly that. His first major moment came during the siege of Toulon. With calm precision, he positioned artillery in ways others had not imagined. The victory was decisive. At just 24 years old, Napoleon was promoted to general. From that moment forward, his rise was unstoppable. He became known for his speed, his confidence, and his ability to inspire soldiers. Napoleon did not command from the rear. He led from the front. His men believed in him, not because of his rank, but because he shared their dangers. In Italy, he crushed larger enemy armies using bold maneuvers and psychological warfare. His victories made him a national hero. France admired him. Politicians feared him. Napoleon understood power better than most. He knew that victory on the battlefield meant influence in politics. In 1799, France was unstable and exhausted. Napoleon returned from Egypt and seized control of the government in a bloodless coup. He claimed he was saving the revolution. In reality, he was reshaping it. As first consul, Napoleon ruled with authority. He reformed laws, stabilized the economy, modernized education, and restored order. The Napoleonic Code became one of his greatest legacies, influencing legal systems around the world. But Napoleon was not satisfied. In 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of the French. He did not allow the Pope to place the crown on his head. Instead, he took it himself, a symbol of his belief that power came from personal strength, not divine approval. Europe watched in fear. War followed war. Coalition after coalition rose against him and fell. At Austerlitz, Napoleon achieved what many consider the greatest battlefield victory in history. Using terrain, deception, and perfect timing, he destroyed the combined armies of Austria and Russia. France stood supreme. Napoleon redrew the map of Europe. Kings were removed. Borders changed. His brothers were placed on foreign thrones. For a time, it seemed no force could stop him. Yet empire brings resistance. In Spain, guerrilla warfare drained French strength. In Britain, Napoleon could not land a decisive blow. And in 1812, driven by pride and miscalculation, he marched into Russia. It was a fatal mistake. The Russian army retreated, burning everything behind them. Napoleon captured Moscow, but it was empty, cold, and useless. Winter came early. Supplies vanished, disease spread, hunger consumed the Grand Army. The retreat from Russia was a catastrophe. Hundreds of thousands died. Napoleon returned to France diminished, though not yet defeated. Europe sensed weakness. In 1814, Allied armies marched on Paris. Napoleon abdicated and was exiled to the small island of Elba. The world believed his story was finished, but Napoleon was not done. Less than a year later, he escaped. He returned to France, and something extraordinary happened. Soldiers sent to arrest him instead joined him. Without firing a single shot, Napoleon reclaimed power. The 100 Days had begun. Europe responded immediately. At Waterloo, Napoleon faced a final coalition. Rain, delays, and exhausted forces worked against him. The battle was brutal and decisive. Napoleon was defeated. This time, there would be no return. He was exiled to St. Helena, a remote island in the South Atlantic. There, far from glory and command, Napoleon spent his final years reflecting, dictating his version of history, and slowly fading from power. In 1821, he died in exile, yet death did not end his influence. Napoleon Bonaparte changed warfare, law, and politics forever. He proved that talent could rise above birth. He showed how ambition could reshape continents, and how it could also destroy its bearer. He was a hero to some, a tyrant to others, a liberator and a conqueror, a man of contradictions. Napoleon did not simply live history, he became it.